big Billy Napier fan. I think he's the right guy for the job. Do I think he should be fired? No. Do I think he should make changes? Yes. And you can pick one. Offensive coordinator, forget plays, quarterback coach, name it. What does he do, 5 jobs? He's got to give one of those up at some point and be more of a CEO, be more involved in the recruiting process, the transfer portal. The transfer portal, folks, is wide open. That's the noise you heard opening up. You saw where 2 players left. Get used to it. There are going to be a bunch more players moving around from team to team because it's what they do now. I have to ask the question, and I hate to hear the answer, is college football, Bill, all about just money? 9%. 9%. Does anybody care about intrinsic values? I love it. I think it's great, 12-team playoff, whatever. But we've lost our way somewhere. When everything, the value system is completely discombobulated. My head's spinning. You pay a guy $76 million not to coach? That's something, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's different. Like Pat said, this is a different world we're in today, and I understand things have to change. I wonder where it's going to land. And I wonder this today. Raise your hand if you love the Florida Gators. Raise your hand if you love the Florida Gators with a 3rd straight losing season. Okay, all right. I want to see that. Do you know the last time they lost 3 seasons in a row? About years. I want to give this book away, this old copy of it. I did, Boys Little Florida, out there, to the person who can tell me that the last time they lost 3 straight seasons, losing seasons. Anybody?
47.
It'll be the 3 years, okay? And a bonus if you name the coaches, right? 1944, no, 45, no, 1946. 0-9, the coach. Right, exactly. So we had 46, 47, and 45. 45, wait a second. 45, 0-9, 4 and 5. So Raymond Wolf, Bear Wolf, that was the beginning of something called the Golden Era. Who knows what the Golden Era is? It's not Todd Golden's basketball team now, okay? I argued with Shane Matthews about this last week on our show. I said, you can't call the basketball program the Golden Era? He said, why not? I said, because it represents a horrible period in Florida football history. I said, nobody cares about that stuff. I said, Shane, you don't care about anything that happened after 1980, before 1990. Sorry. Anyway, so the Golden Era was a horrible time for many, but great people. I knew them. I knew a lot of them, Fred Monsiovic, Jimmy Kynes, etc. Red Nixon, they helped raise me up as a Gator. But the Golden Era was not the time you wanted to be a Gator fan. If you love the Florida Gators, and you can love them when they're losing, then what can you do to enjoy Gator football? If you can't root for championships, Bill, and you can't win it all the time, then what's your satisfaction of being a Gator fan? Somebody tell me, what do you do? What is it about? What does it mean?
Waiting until next year.
Yeah, we will that one about our don't we?
Do the call-in show after we leave.
Well, I love actually some of the teams that didn't win championships. I love the '69 Gators. Carlos Alvarez, John Reed. They didn't win a championship. They beat Doug Dickey's team in the Gator Bowl, who did win the SEC. But the coaches, to me, and Pat, I'm sure this is your view, it's about relationships with people. Bill, I know you know that, and relationships with players and what have you. I think we've got to a point where it only matters if you win and how much you get paid. And that bothers me, concerns me about what's ahead. It's going to be interesting to say the least. We know now that Jamonte Waller and Wardell Mack both announced decisions to decommit from Florida. They dropped from 3 to 4, as Pat said. I don't know where this stops, or how to stop the bleeding. I'm not sure what it is. There's going to be change here. what happens if they lose 2 more games, which is likely because they're underdogs in both. They have another losing season. All of a sudden, the guys writing the checks say, like Pat said, show me winning football, I'll write you a check. That NIL money, which has been promised to these players, dries up. Do players start peeling off? What happens? I don't know. It's uncharted waters. And Chicken Little's gonna be around, I bet, these next couple of years. I'm not an expert on recruiting or much of anything. I love Gator football, half since I was 10. Used to listen to Otis Boggs and take an old green sweater and put a bath gloss under it, run around the house and sit on chairs and listen to the football game. It's been my dream to cover this team, and I have a good part of my almost 6 years in the business, and I'm blessed to be able to do it now. I'm also the proud owner of the venerable Gator Baits. Raise your hand if you ever subscribe to Gator Bait. Wow, surprise, all right. I was gonna say, have you ever heard of Gator Bait? Well, I have no earthly idea why I did this, but when it came up for sale about 4 years ago, I raised my hand and they gave it to me. And I thought, I must be the patron saint for losing causes. That's me, that's my life, right? But I'm proud of the work we've been doing, the people who've been working on, the young kids who work on their fans. Bree does a great job. Others we've had, and it gives us a seat at the table to go to the games, and I'm one of the few people who still enjoys covering football and going there. But again, if you care to ever subscribe, go to GatorBaitMedia.com and check it out. It's what we do. We also broadcast streaming shows 5 days a week, mostly at 9 o'clock at night, Urban Meyer on Fridays. And we're like a lot of other people. Pat does about 10 shows. And a lot of us doing shows now, and not necessarily on the radio anymore.